So what story do we see? We see a husband and wife named Tim and Olivia. These two are living together in an apartment in Munich. We see that Tim is a game developer, and at this time, his life appears to be under stress. When they go out, they meet their landlord, Mr. Fredman, who tells them not to worry about the apartment, they will now get better, and things will start to improve a lot. Then we are shown a location where a fire breaks out. It becomes big news. A major company is involved where the fire happened. We are told this. Then we see Tim and Olivia again, and we come to know that there is some tension between them because Olivia recently had a miscarriage and both are not communicating well. Olivia wants to go to France, but Tim doesn't want to go due to his heavy workload. He can't go because of his job. After that, we see a bit of a fight between them, but at night, Olivia decides that she's going to leave, and as soon as she opens the apartment door, she sees a wall made of bricks. Both of them become very confused. They look through the windows, doors, everywhere they see that wall. Then what do they decide? They check their water supply, their connections. Everything has stopped. They are completely isolated. Then they hear fighting noises from a neighbor, where we see a man named Marvin. First, they go to him. We hear the sound of some smashing, but at the door, a magnetic field seems to be at play. At first, magnets attract, but then get pushed back forcefully. Tim gets badly injured in the process. When they go to their neighbors, i.e., to Marvin, he starts attacking them. Marvin appears drunk and a bit psychotic. Actually, he was trying to break the wall, but accidentally hit his wife instead. That's the story we are shown. Then the four of them decide that this building, this apartment, dates back to World War II, so there must be a bunker underneath. They plan to go all the way down to reach the bunker, which leads to the sublay. This way they can escape the apartment. They go to a lower-level apartment where we see a grandfather living with his granddaughter. At first, the grandfather doesn't let them in, but the granddaughter convinces him and shares the plan with them. Then we see something major. The fire alarms installed in the ceiling have cameras inside them. Someone is watching them, recording their activity. When they go down to Mr. Fredman, their landlord, they find him dead, with both his hands cut off. Moving forward, they find a secret room full of monitoring equipment where all the recordings from those cameras were being watched and played. Then they go to another lower apartment where they meet a man named Yuri. He has a roommate named Anton. Yuri explains that Anton was a programmer who tried to go beyond the wall, but died of heart failure out of confusion and stress when he couldn't break through. Yuri tells them that the wall was built as protection from some kind of chemical weapon present outside, and that they should not go outside. This wall was created for their safety. But the group decides not to listen to Yuri and keeps moving down toward the bunker. When they reach the bunker, they see another door, and even there, a wall exists. Marvin gets out of control again and fires a pistol at the wall. But as mentioned earlier, the wall material pushes things back, so everyone gets knocked down. But the grandfather, Mr. Oswald, doesn't survive due to his old age. Then the group decides that Anton had been working on notes related to the wall, measuring the bricks, patterns, etc. They suspect there's something shady going on, and Anton's death wasn't as simple as it seemed. Half the team starts decoding Anton's notes, and the other half looks into the CCTV footage to uncover what really happened. Then we see a major reveal. When they review the footage from Mr. Fredman's apartment, they found that Yuri had been lying. Anton had successfully opened the wall, and when Yuri found out, he strangled Anton to death. So, Yuri's true nature is exposed. But it's too late, as Mr. Oswald's granddaughter has been left alone, and when she realized what really happened, Yuri also killed her too.
Marvin then appears again, and the entire group arrives. Olivia also comes. A fight breaks out between the group and Yuri. They capture Yuri, tie him to a chair, and demand he tell the truth. Yuri admits that he killed Anton because he opened the wall, but he insists on one thing, that the wall was made for their protection. If they step outside the apartment, they will all die. But the biggest reveal is that Anton worked for a company, and this company designs nanotech bricks. So basically, the wall we've been seeing is made from nanotech bricks, not ordinary material. That's why it's extremely strong and powerful. He works for the same company that built this wall. That's why he was quite successful in opening the wall. He had already opened it quite easily. But Yuri says no, we must not open this wall. After that, Tim, being a programmer, starts examining Anton's notes. While watching the recording, he realizes that Anton used a phone to open the door. So here the main story is revealed. This wall works like a QR code that can be scanned by phone. With the help of an application, by scanning the various magnetic field points, the wall can be opened. I know I said in my review that I found this concept quite awkward the way it was shown. So after that, they recover Anton's phone and repair it. Using the application, they scan everything and try to open the wall with a QR code. But here they make a mistake. There are 4 patterns, but they enter the wrong combination the first time. As a result, when Marvin's girlfriend puts her hand inside and tries to pull it back out, her hand gets stuck. The wall reforms into its original shape and we see that she dies. This answers the question about how their landlord died. He too must have inserted both his hands inside the wall but entered the wrong combination after watching the recordings and examining Anton's phone. Since he didn't know the right combination, both his hands got cut off and he died. Of course, there would have been some other cuts on the body which led to his death.
After that, Marvin, the husband, can't bear it and shoots himself. But before committing suicide, he shoots Yuri as well. This means now only 2 people are left. Tim and Olivia. Here, we see a slightly emotional moment. Now we come to the ending. In the ending, they again look at the recordings and discover that there is a specific combination that unlocks everything. Each correct press flashes a light. So they observe the flashlights in the CCTV recordings and try to replicate that combination again. When they do this, Yuri, who actually hadn't died, suddenly returns and tries to kill both of them. But then we see Olivia attempting the same QR code combination, and thankfully, this time, the wall opens. We see that the blinking pattern of the flashlights was basically copied to unlock the wall. But meanwhile, there's a fight between Tim and Yuri. Olivia helps and hits Yuri on the head with a hammer, and finally, we see that Tim and Olivia escape the bunker. Then comes the biggest part. When they get outside, what they see was quite unexpected. The entire city is trapped inside this nanotech brick system. Every house has this problem. Every home has people locked inside. Now we come to the most important thing. How were these walls made? They find a car, get in, and hear a radio broadcast. If you remember, I told you in the beginning that there was a fire. This fire broke out at the company that manufactures these nanotech bricks. This company's purpose was to create protective barriers in case of a nuclear, chemical, or radiation-based attack. In case of such an emergency, these walls would automatically form for safety. But when the fire broke out, a malfunction occurred and the entire security system activated. These walls were then built across the whole city. So Anton's theory was correct. He was trying to open the wall because he worked for the same company that built it, and he knew the system could accidentally activate due to a malfunction, even without any real radiation or chemical attack. And finally, we hear on the radio that there are other survivors too. It's not like everyone is trapped inside their homes. Some people, like Tim and Olivia, managed to escape and reached a safe zone. That's where the movie ends.